This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It is 5 o'clock here on your Thursday. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrett. Here's what's making headlines on this January the 30th. Steps are being taken to fire a Tri-West teacher facing sexual misconduct allegations and criminal charges. The changes the community wants to see from the school board and the administrator also facing legal trouble.
Johnson County is using new technology to help law enforcement solve crimes faster. Our Kelsey Anderson shows us how their 3D scanners work and why officers say they'll improve investigations.
He was waiting for insurance to kick in on his new job, and he didn't survive.
A father pushing for change after his son died rationing his insulin. The bills lawmakers are proposing to help make the life-saving drug more affordable. But first, we need to get a check of your Storm Team 6 forecast.
That's right. Todd Clausen is joining us on this Thursday morning. Todd, good morning. What can we expect as we head out the door today?
You know, more of the same. Lots of clouds here this morning.
Pushing repeat again.
How many times have I said that this week?
More of the same.
More of the same. I'm running out of ways to explain it. But there are some subtle changes, I think, today as we get into the afternoon hours, and that is the clouds will start to thin a little bit. We're never going to get rid of them. We're never going to break out into that bright blue sky, but I do think they'll start to thin. Temperatures exactly where they've been the past couple mornings, right around the freezing mark. 29 in Crawfordsville, 32 in Indianapolis right now. It's 33 as you make your way into the Connorsville area, and Bloomington sitting at 32 degrees. So you notice the clouds, they're all in place here across the area. And as we expand out, though, you do notice off to our west and off to our south, there are some breaks in the clouds. That storm system from yesterday is now making its way off towards the east, and that's helping to improve things just a little bit. So mostly cloudy skies this morning, very little sunshine for your morning commute. It's this afternoon that the clouds thin a little bit. So I took you from the cloudy icon to the mostly cloudy icon. You notice the temperatures as those clouds do start to thin a little bit. We'll get up to right around 37 degrees for your afternoon high. And then we do have warmer temperatures and some storms in the forecast, as well as some brighter days. We'll share it all with you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on that Thursday morning drive. And here's a look at our traffic now maps. The good news right now, we're not monitoring any crashes to slow you down as you're heading out early this morning. But we do have one reminder for you, a road closure. This is while crews are working on a cross pipe for a sewer project. South 5 Points Road closed between Stop 11 Road and East Shelbyville Road. Keep that in mind if you travel through that area this morning. Let's take you over to the near east side of town. This is I-70 at Roll Street and Keystone Avenue. You can see traffic there is moving along up to speed. No delays at this hour to slow you down.
The Northwest Hendricks School District is taking steps to fire a teacher facing criminal charges, and now a former school principal is facing charges as well. Tri-West High School teacher and coach Tyler Bruce is charged with child seduction and obstruction of justice. RTV6 first told you police arrested Bruce after an 8-month investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct with a student. Parents and community members tell Call 6 Investigates they want the entire school board to resign because they allowed Bruce to stay on staff and get paid despite knowing about these allegations for months.
It really is momentum to seek the truth. Ultimately, everyone has to be held accountable for their actions.
Hopefully people will understand why we've been so passionate about trying to get some changes made.
Bruce has denied the allegations through his attorney. Prosecutors also announced a criminal charge against the former Tri-West principal. Adam Benner is accused of failing to properly report the allegations. Call 6 was unable to reach Benner for comment.
The Indiana Supreme Court has denied a sentence reduction hearing for a Jeffersonville man convicted of molesting 20 children. 20-year-old Michael Began Jr. was sentenced to 100 years in prison and 20 years probation. He pleaded guilty last year to molesting children while working at the YMCA and an elementary school. Began was arrested in 2017 after 2 6-year-olds told their parents that he touched them inappropriately. The Indiana Court of Appeals also rejected his request for a sentence reduction in October.
Metro Police want to know if you recognize this bank robbery suspect. This surveillance picture is from the Fifth Third Bank on College Avenue near 86th Street on the north side. The robbery happened just before 3 o'clock on January 2nd. The suspect is wearing sunglasses, and an Indianapolis Indians hat. Anyone with information is asked to call the FBI at 317-595-4000.
New this morning here on Good Morning Indiana, the Johnson County Sheriff's Office has a new piece of technology that they say will help them to clear crash scenes and crime scenes a lot faster and to help in the investigation process.
Our Kelsey Anderson is working for you this morning to find out how the department paid for the equipment, plus how it can benefit you. Kelsey, this is really fascinating.
Yeah, and to put it simply, this new Faro 3D scanner will make the investigations that happen in Johnson County even more accurate than they already are. While the machine is getting a 360-degree view of the area, it's also taking thousands upon thousands of tiny measurements that investigators need. Plus, investigators are also now able to revisit digital replicas of crash and crime scenes and get a real sense of what the scene looks like even after the area has been cleaned up.
In the past, if we wanted to go and get some measurements that maybe we didn't get the first time, we would have to go and rely on our paint marks that we made, speaking of a crash scene specifically, and then we could take measurements off that again. But obviously at that point, the vehicles would already be towed, the debris would be cleaned up, and the area would be drastically different than when we were actually there.
Scanner cost around $60,000, and Barnhart says thanks to a grant from the county commissioner's office, they didn't have to use money from their own budget to get it. Barnhart says several investigators are now trained to use the Faro at crash and crime scenes, and he says they're ready to put the new tool to use. Meredith?
Kelsey, thank you. State lawmakers are working to change how much Hoosiers pay for life-saving insulin. It's a problem they say they've heard about far too often, and many times only after someone has died. One man is helping to push for change in the healthcare system, and it's getting noticed at the Statehouse. His name is Harry Rybolt, and his son Jeremy died at the age of 39 because he was not able to afford his insulin prescription. Rybolt says Jeremy had to pay more than $160 for a single bottle of insulin, and he began rationing.
I know companies have to make a profit, but if you marked it up 4 times, that's $28 for a bottle. Chances are I could afford that to get through, or he could have afforded it to get through.
This year, lawmakers at the Statehouse could pass a bill to help cap the price of insulin and EpiPen injections. Senator Andy Melton proposed the bill, which would cap the price of a 30-day supply of insulin at no more than $50. It would also make epinephrine injections free for people under the age of 18. House Representative Robin Shackelford is proposing a similar bill, creating a $100 cap on a 30-day supply of insulin. We will continue to follow these proposals as they move through the Statehouse.
The time now is 5:07. Governor Eric Holcomb has signed off on a spending plan for the $291 million in unexpected tax revenue for college construction projects. The approval comes after Democrats attempted to direct some of the money towards school funding and teacher pay. The governor proposed the plan to use the cash for the building projects rather than borrowing money. Holcomb said that way the state ensures it remains, quote, the fiscal envy of the nation.
Prepare to see a lot of this image over the next year. It is the winning design in a contest to create the bicentennial logo for Indianapolis. Mayor Joe Hogsett presented the winner, Indianapolis-based designer Mandy Walsh, with a $5,000 check. The logo will be at the center of the city's year-long bicentennial celebration through 2021.
It is the season most people do not look forward to, tax season, but free help is available for you to complete your tax return. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett joined members of the United Way of Central Indiana, the IRS, and others at the Indianapolis Public Library branch on the east side to kick off the opening of tax preparation sites. Individuals and families with a combined household income of $66,000 or less are eligible to receive free tax preparation help.
The value of this program is clear. It is meant to help people. It brings a benefit to people who really need the money that it can bring back and help to stabilize families who really need it. It's free. It's trusted. It's accurate. It makes something that could be very difficult and very stressful easy for people who really need it.
Since 2015, the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program has helped Central Indiana residents get nearly $30 million in tax refunds. If you want to find out about the locations and times where you can get free tax help, look for this story on the IndyChannel.com and also at the RTV6 app.
During his first game back in more than a year, Victor Oladipo paid tribute to Kobe Bryant. As he walked into Bankers Life Fieldhouse, he wore Bryant's number 8 NBA All-Star jersey. Bryant and 8 others were killed tragically in a helicopter crash Sunday. After the game, Oladipo said while he played, he tried to stay in the moment, just like Kobe taught him.
Obviously, I got a little emotional out there. That's just because the week has just been emotional from the passing of Kobe and Gigi and everybody on the helicopter.
The Pacers also honored Bryant at the beginning of their game against the Bulls with 24-second and 8-second violations, the numbers representing those Bryant wore during his career in the NBA. Similar tributes have been held at games across the country. All right, we do have a slam dunk coming up in our forecast. We just have to wait a few days, Todd.
There is light virtually at the end of the tunnel here, and that is going to be the sunshine on Sunday. That's going to be the best day that we have in our extended forecast today as you walk out the door. Once again, you're walking out to a lot of clouds and temperatures that are hovering right around freezing. So basically the same forecast as the past couple mornings across central Indiana. And so throughout the 8 o'clock hour, mostly cloudy skies. The temperature hovers right around 31 degrees. Although this morning you do see a few breaks in the clouds here or there. Those will fill back in this morning. But as we get into the afternoon hours and this storm system continues to make its way off towards the east coast, you look to the west and you see there's more clear skies than you've seen any morning so far this week. And I do think our clouds will start to thin a little bit. They're not going to break apart. There may be a patch of blue sky here or there later on this afternoon, but we're never going to clear the clouds out. But just that thinning of the clouds will allow temperatures to get a little bit warmer. Yesterday, only 34 degrees. Will be a couple degrees warmer to the north, but southern locations, you should climb up into the 40s. We'll talk more about that extended forecast that I mentioned. The warming trend is coming our way in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Senators will conclude the question and answer session today as the impeachment trial continues. Coming up, the next phase, opening up the witness debate.
And more infant sleepers are being recalled due to suffocation risks. Still ahead, the products the Safety Commission is urging mothers to stop using immediately.
And here's a live look right now at your commute on the west side, I-465 and I-74. You can see traffic in that area is picking up, traveling up to speed. We'll continue to monitor your roads and keep you updated if you need to reroute this Thursday. Time now, 5:11. We'll be right back.
Hiring Hoosiers only on RTV6.
After listening to opening arguments from both sides, senators are getting a chance to participate in President Trump's impeachment trial. Yesterday was the first day for senators to submit questions for the House managers and the president's defense team. Democrats asking questions to express urgency over the issue of witnesses, while some Republican questions acted to discredit the impeachment investigation. The question session will continue this afternoon. After that, they will have a 4-hour debate leading up to the vote over pursuing witnesses and documents.
President Trump has signed the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement into law. The new deal replaces the North American Free Trade Agreement. The new plan ensures new auto manufacturing requirements and tougher labor protections. At the signing, President Trump touted the deal, calling it a big victory for farmers, ranchers, and factory workers. Mexico has also ratified this agreement, but Canada must still sign off before it takes full effect.
China is building 2 new hospitals in Wuhan City to treat coronavirus patients. After 3 days of construction, the first hospital is complete. The second is still under construction. The new facilities come as hospitals are overcrowded and the number of cases in the country rises to more than 7,000. On Wednesday, the U.S. evacuated nearly 200 Americans from the city of Wuhan, where the virus originated. They arrived in California and were screened. The CDC reports that none of the evacuees showed signs of sickness, but they are under voluntary quarantine.
U.S. Customs and Border Patrol officials say they found a sophisticated drug smuggling tunnel in San Diego. It stretches 3/4 of a mile, making it the longest on record. It extends into Mexico for a half mile into the city of Tijuana. Officials say the tunnel has a ventilation system, electricity, and elevators at both entrances. No arrests have been made in connection to the tunnel's discovery. Back here at home, it is 5:16 on your Thursday. Let's check in with Todd and see what we can expect as we head outside.
Yeah, and as you walk out the door, you're walking out to cloudy skies once again and temperatures that are sitting right around the freezing mark. 32 degrees here in Indianapolis, just a wind out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour, and that northeasterly wind is going to once again prevent us from warming a whole lot throughout the day today, but it's also a drier wind direction, and that's the key to helping to thin some of the clouds out as we work our way into the afternoon hours to hopefully give us a little bit of sunshine later on today, as we haven't seen a peak of sunshine all week long. It is 29 right now in Crawfordsville, 32 in Bloomington, 28 is the current temperature in Richmond. You're our cooler spot as you usually are there, and 30 up in Peru as well as Tipton. So as we work our way throughout the day today, I think we start off completely overcast, but as the day goes on, those clouds thin just a little bit across the area. And by the time we get to the afternoon hours, I do think the skies are starting to brighten just a little bit for us across the area. Again, the clouds are never going to completely depart the area, but they should thin, allowing the temperature to get up to right around 37 degrees for your afternoon high. And on the satellite picture, you don't see the flurries, or we don't really have as damp of a feel as we've had earlier in the week. So that's a bit of a change as well. So your 32 really feels like 32 degrees this morning. And as we expand out, there's a couple things going on. This is that storm system that was just off to our west yesterday, and it's now going to turn into a pretty big storm on the East Coast. As it does, it's going to pull some of this cloud cover with it. So that's where we're going to see a little bit of improvement. Then off to our west, you notice this batch of precipitation that is going to arrive by tomorrow morning. So let me walk you through both today and tomorrow using TrueCast hour by hour. The clouds are with us throughout the morning hours. TrueCast showing the clouds breaking apart. I think it's probably overdoing it a little bit this afternoon, but I do think, as I mentioned, the skies will brighten just a little bit. Then going forward into the overnight hours, the clouds come back, and there's a little bit of a wintry mix that's going to head our way tomorrow. We're not talking about a lot of snow or the wintry mix. However, look at the timing. It's not good. 4 a.m., it's approaching the area, makes its way through the area during the a.m. drive, and then eventually pushes off towards the east by mid-morning. And then by Friday, we're just dealing with partly cloudy skies. So tomorrow morning, there definitely could be a few slick spots. Make sure you tune in with a listen eye in the morning hours, and we'll let you know exactly the progression of that wintry mix. But it's just for a few hours during the morning, and then eventually up to right around 40 degrees for your afternoon high tomorrow. Here's your 7-day planning forecast, and you can see what jumps out at you is the 50s that will be heading our way as we work our way into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. 55 on Monday is the warmest day with partly cloudy skies. Lauren?
Todd, thank you so much. Here is a live look right now at your commute. This is over on the west side of town, I-465 near Sam Jones Expressway. Traffic is moving along up to speed this morning. No issues to slow you down. So let's plan out your drive on the west side. On I-74 traveling eastbound, it's a 7-minute drive from State Road 267 to I-465. No delays. So let's take you up to the northeast side of town, I-465 and Benford Boulevard. You can see traffic there is picking up, but traveling up to speed.
4 different kinds of infant sleepers are now being recalled for being a suffocation risk. The Consumer Product Safety Commission is recalling the Swaddle Me By Your Bed by Summer Infant, Pillow Portable Napper by Evenflow, the Incline Sleeper with adjustable feeding positions for newborns by Delta Enterprise Corporation, and the Little Lounger Rocking Seat by Graco. No deaths have been reported in association with these products, but the agency says infants can roll from their back to their stomachs in the sleepers, causing the concern. If you have one of these, you need to stop using them immediately and contact the manufacturers for a refund or voucher.
The time right now is 5:20. UPS is testing out whether it can turn solely to technology for future deliveries. The firm, best known for its trucks, is testing self-driving minivans. They'll start trying them out in the Phoenix area in the coming weeks. UPS says it will involve Chrysler minivans delivering packages from UPS stores in Phoenix to a sorting facility in Tempe. The driver will be on board during the test to take control if needed. So far, doorstep deliveries are not being tested.
Walmart is also looking to the future in an ad for this Sunday's Super Bowl. It features characters from various sci-fi films purchasing items online and picking them up at the store. Star Trek, Toy Story, Arrival, and Star Wars are all included in the ad. This will be the first time Walmart has ever aired an ad during the big game. The goal for many Girl Scouts is to sell the most cookies, but not for this 7-year-old. After the break, how she took her sales to all 50 states. Pretty impressive. Stay tuned.
p.m. Saturday only at Ashley Home Store.
Welcome back. The time right now is 5:24. Here's a live look at your commute over on the west side. No crashes to report around the metro area. Great news for your Thursday morning commute.
A 7-year-old Girl Scout in West Virginia took her cookie selling all across the country, literally. Rory Clark aimed to sell cookies in all 50 states, and she did. She used social media and her own website to reach customers. Her family and friends also helped her along the way. Rory said she was inspired by a class project that encouraged students to receive a postcard from each state. As the orders came in, she used a map to check off the states as she made progress. Scout leaders say her quest sold close to 700 boxes of cookies. Way to go.
That's
but Rory,
cool.
I think Todd Clausen is mad you didn't reach out to him to sell him his Indiana cookies.
Who did you reach out to in Indiana?
Yeah.
That's right. I have other friends that have daughters that are selling Girl Scout.
Okay. Yes, you are set.
I'll get my fix. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
All right, outside.
We'll get our fix of sunshine finally.
Yeah, eventually. Not so much today. I think we could all use a little bit of vitamin D in our life at this point. The seasonal depression's kicking in for a lot of people. Temperatures this morning right around 30 degrees with mostly cloudy skies. Still kind of that damn feel, although it's not as bad as it has been the past few mornings, as the visibilities are a lot better, as you can see behind the timestamps and graphics there. Off to our north, temperatures today will top off around 35 in Peru, 36 in Indianapolis. Southern locations climbing up into the 40s later on this evening, and I am hopeful for just a little bit of sunshine, or at least the clouds thinning and the skies brightening a little bit this afternoon, but we really fully don't get the sunshine back until Sunday. We'll talk more about that extended forecast for you coming up in just a little bit.
A little abnormal vision. Felt there was something not right.
Only on RTV6, Hoops Heartbreak, the veteran who is now unable to coach his grandson after visiting his eye doctor. What happened and what he wants you to learn from his experience, only at 6 a.m. on RTV6.
And right now, we want to plan out your drive. Here's a look at I-465 and West 21st Street. Traffic's picking up northbound and southbound on your interstate, traveling up to speed. We'll be right back at 5:30.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Teachers who want to undergo handgun training could soon get it through grant money provided by the state.
Details on that proposed bill and what that could mean for your students. Plus, police in Johnson County are using new technology to help them solve crimes faster.
Our Kelsey Anderson is working for you this morning, taking a closer look at how all of this works. But first, we need to check in with our Storm Team 6 forecast.
That's right. Todd Clausen is standing by, breaking down what we can expect on this Thursday. And Todd, it's been a pretty consistent week.
It really has. We've kind of been on cruise control here, going down the highway. Not much has changed from your morning lows to your afternoon highs, and the clouds, they've been firmly in place. I think there's some subtle changes today. I wouldn't grab the sunglasses throughout the entire day, but you do need the jacket, and your outdoor workout's good to go. Your umbrella, you can tuck that away. You do not need that throughout the day today. So as you walk out the door, there's not that damp feeling, and there's not the visibility issues that we've had a couple mornings. So that's at least a little bit better, and that represents a bit of a change. Temperatures still hovering right around freezing in and around the metro area, but we still do have the clouds, though I do think these clouds will start to thin just a little bit as we work our way into the afternoon hours, and maybe we get a little filtered sunshine in here. So I do think the skies will start to brighten just a little bit this afternoon, more so than they have the past few days. Temperatures, though, don't really respond to that. We'll start off right around 30 degrees here this morning and end with a high right around 37 degrees. The time now is 5:31. Let's get a look at traffic with Lauren.
Todd, thank you. We're keeping a close eye on the roads as you're heading out there to start your work day. Here's a look at I-465 and Sam Jones Expressway on the west side. Traffic is picking up. Lots of headlights moving across your screen, but everything's traveling up to speed. So let's plan out that commute. Taking you down to the south side here in our traffic now map as you head northbound on State Road 37 from Greenwood. From Fairview Road up to the I-465 ramps, it's a quick 9-minute drive. Across the county, starting here in Whiteland at the Whiteland Road exit, heading up to I-70 at the North Split downtown, you can expect an 18-minute commute. Let's give you a live look right now at I-465 and West 21st Street. No crashes in this area to slow down your morning drive.
Coming together to offer hope and prayers for a man killed while he was just trying to do his job. That was the purpose of a vigil held last night for 35-year-old Ashok Kumar. This week, 3 people masked and armed entered the Subway store he worked for on the northeast side. Investigators say they were trying to rob the restaurant when they shot Kumar, an employee there. He died at the scene. Local residents, business owners, and community activists stood together last night hoping for justice and an end to the crime.
He was always smiling, in a bad mood also. If I say anything to him, he'll do it.
Community members say they hope the tragedy leads to increased security and lighting in the shopping center where the Subway is located. As always, if you have any information that could help police track down those suspects, you can leave an anonymous tip by calling Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS.
Now to Johnson County, where the mother of a man killed in a deadly shooting on Saturday in Franklin is demanding justice. 18-year-old Donovan Isaiah Burdine's mother shared these pictures of her son with us here at RTV6. She says Donovan was a son, a father, and a loyal person. She also sent us a statement saying in part, quote, "I hope that everyone involved gets what they deserve, and I won't stop until they do. My son wasn't perfect, and I know that, but he was loyal and loving. He's missed and loved so, so much," end quote. Police have arrested 2 men in connection to Donovan's death. It's 5:33 new this morning here on Good Morning Indiana. The Johnson County Sheriff's Office has a new piece of technology that they say will help them to clear crash scenes and crime scenes a lot faster and to help the investigation process.
Our Kelsey Anderson is working for you to find out how the department paid for the equipment, plus how it can benefit you. This is going to be so crucial in solving so many different types of crimes, Kelsey.
Yeah, that's right. And to me and you, it looks like a box, but to the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, it's a new tool that's going to save them a lot of time and help them investigate crimes more accurately.
So it shows the length is 20.60 feet between that spot in the bumper and the front of that bumper.
Chief Deputy Andy Barnhart is excited about the county's newest piece of technology.
Faro 3D scanner.
The new scanner is designed to help investigators get a 360 view of a crash or crime scene and finish the process more quickly.
The way we do it now, we have a laser data collector machine, and it involves taking a reflector and holding it at important points on the scene. With that technology, it usually takes several hours, 3 or 4 hours sometimes, to do a crash scene, and then we're only collecting a few dozen measurements. With this new technology, we'll be able to collect tens of thousands of points of measurement.
Barnhart showed me how it works with this simulated crash. The picture looks pixelated, but he says it's actually not, and what you were seeing are all the measurements the Faro scanner took. He says the new technology won't just benefit the department, but the entire community.
If it's a criminal case, if there's alcohol involved or something like that, where someone's going to be charged with a crime related to a crash, then this will help recreate that scene in the software for court, because we can do fly-throughs and 3D model recreations, things like that really help the judge or jury visualize.
Obviously, a piece of equipment like this isn't cheap. It's actually in the range of about $60,000. But Barnhart says they didn't have to touch their own budget to get it.
We spoke to our county commissioners, and they actually had a chunk of money put aside for technology-related improvements within various departments, and that was coming out of a bond, and they decided to let us use that bond money to pay for this. So.
Investigators in Johnson County are now trained to use the Faro scanner, and Barnhart says they are ready to see how it can help them in their investigations. Lauren.
Kelsey, thank you. Covering the Statehouse this morning, lawmakers are hard at work attempting to pass a few pieces of final legislation.
Today is the deadline for committees to hear bill proposals. One of those proposals could give grant money to teachers who want to have handgun training. Senate Bill 263 passed a Senate committee yesterday. It allows school corporations to use the Indiana Safe Schools Fund to pay for handgun training for staff. The bill does not mandate a teacher to be armed on school property, but it does say teachers must be trained before they're allowed to carry handguns on school grounds.
How could a class focus on learning seeing their teacher carrying a lethal weapon?
A vote against this bill is a vote to continue to allow untrained teachers to carry guns in our schools and in our classrooms.
As it stands now, teachers can legally have guns in schools, but only if a school corporation authorizes it. The bill now heads to the full Senate for a vote.
Also at the State House, a bill that would restrict holding your phone while driving has passed the Indiana House of Representatives. The bill cracks down on distracted driving in the state. Those who voted against it say the government is playing too big a role in everyday life. Those who are for it say it will save Hoosier lives. The bill now heads to the state Senate, where it's likely to pass. If it makes it to the governor's desk and he signs it into law, it would become illegal to hold your phone while driving.
Hutchison, here's a long three by
He's back. He's back.
Pacers fans waited more than a year for this, and Victor Oladipo made it a night to remember as he suited up against the Chicago Bulls, taking to the court for the first time since last January. Before the game, Pacers coach Nate McMillan told reporters that Oladipo would be limited to just 24 minutes of playing time. When he entered the game with 4:12 left in the first quarter, the fans were ready, waving those gold placards with the words "ready for action." Clearly, Oladipo was a little bit rusty, but a late rally, including his own three of the game in the second half, helped tie the score at 100. Oladipo ended the night with 9 points. The Pacers took home the W, 115-106. A great night there at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. And I would hope that we'd have a great morning in the forecast, but it's just okay, Tom.
Yeah, you know, it could be worse. We've been saying that. I know it's been cloudy, but it's been mainly dry for the bus stop and your commute into work, and that doesn't change here today as we're looking at a temperature hovering probably right around 28 degrees on average as most people head out to the bus stop and off to work. And then as the kids come home, we're looking at a temperature that's going to be right around 37 degrees with skies that'll be mostly cloudy. However, I do think the skies should start to brighten just a little bit as we get into the afternoon hours across the area. So what's going on is finally that storm system that was off to our west will move up the east coast. As that does, it's going to pull some clouds with it, and there's some breaks across parts of Illinois. That's what I'm hopeful for to work their way into our area later on this afternoon. Again, the clouds are never going to completely make their way out of the area, but they should thin just a little bit. And then you see this precipitation off to our west from Omaha to Wichita. That becomes a player for tomorrow morning's forecast, and I think it could impact the morning drive a little bit across the area. We'll talk more about the timeline and the impact of that coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. The World Health Organization is meeting today to discuss the rapidly spreading coronavirus. Coming up, why the organization says the whole world now needs to be on alert.
Shaquille O'Neal still reeling from the loss of his friend Kobe Bryant, but says the show must go on. Coming up, why he's refusing to cancel his annual Super Bowl party and how he plans to honor his fallen friend. It's 5:40. We'll be right back.
Understand. Would you let go your ego?
This morning, the World Health Organization says the whole world needs to be on alert to fight the coronavirus.
The organization is meeting today deciding whether to declare a global health emergency. This as new information shows nearly 8,000 cases are now confirmed in China. International governments have been working overtime to evacuate their citizens from China, including the U.S. One plane yesterday flying nearly 200 Americans out of Wuhan, ground zero of the coronavirus outbreak.
When we first stepped on board, my jaw dropped. I've never seen a plane set up like that before. It was a wide open cargo plane, but had passenger seats in it. And honestly, it felt like something out of a movie.
Those who were evacuated will be quarantined for a few days to make sure they are not infected with the disease. Meanwhile, airlines around the world are not taking any chances suspending or scaling back flights to and from China, including Delta, American, and United. And Tesla is the latest company to close a facility in China because of the outbreak, shutting down its factory in Shanghai until further notice.
Time right now is 5:44. Kobe Bryant's wife, Vanessa, has broken her silence, sharing her heartbreak publicly for the first time since the tragic helicopter crash. On Instagram, she wrote, quote, "My girls and I want to thank the millions of people who have shown support and love during this horrific time. We are completely devastated by the sudden loss of my adoring husband, Kobe, the amazing father of our children, and my beautiful, sweet Gianna. It's impossible to imagine life without them, but we wake up each day trying to keep pushing because Kobe and our baby girl Gigi are shining on us to light the way," end quote. The NTSB is still investigating that crash.
And Kobe's good friend Shaquille O'Neal has announced he will be donating all proceeds from his annual Super Bowl Funhouse event to the Kobe and Vanessa Bryant Foundation. Some of the proceeds will also go to the families who lost loved ones in Sunday's helicopter crash. In a tweet, O'Neal explained he had been going back and forth trying to decide if he should still hold the party. He said he wanted to stay with with his family and reflect on his friend's life, but realized Bryant would not have wanted that. StubHub is also donating all of the ticket sale fees for Friday's Lakers game to Kobe's Foundation.
At 5:45, speaking of the Super Bowl, we're getting a first look at some of this year's commercials, and companies are tapping some big names in hopes of standing out. Michelob features late night host Jimmy Fallon and his celebrity friends, including John Cena, Kerry Walsh Jennings, and Brooke Sweat. The ad, titled Jimmy Works Out, documents Fallon's fitness journey.
Swing it up, over your head, through your legs, thrust your pelvis, engage the glutes.
We should go. Working out. Come on, man. You just got to see the lighter side of things.
Oh, this is it. This is how I die.
That's pretty good. You can see the full 60-second ad on Sunday during the Super Bowl. Something a lot of people are looking forward to. Not just the game. We don't have a local team in the fight, so the Super Bowls are something, the commercials to watch.
And there's something else a lot of people are looking forward to, a little sunshine, so they can get outdoors and enjoy it. We've just had cloud cover for what it seems like is forever, Todd.
Yeah, we have. You know, you can do your workouts outdoors this morning. You're not going to be dealing with any precipitation. You just missed it while you guys were talking. I was over here doing my squats here for the day outside. Good thing you missed that. All right, it's clouds once again as you walk out the door, but you don't have as damp of a feeling out there. And when I show you the tower camera, you'll notice that we don't have those low hanging clouds or the moisture that's hanging around. So it feels a little bit better as you walk out the door. Even though temperatures are still around freezing, it actually feels more like 32 degrees compared to the 20s. And here are those visibilities. The other day you couldn't really see off into the distance here and the lights there as you look to the west. But today you don't have those visibility issues. So that's one improvement that we've seen in the past few days, and that's going to transition into a better afternoon for us as well. Right at 32 degrees in Indy, 32 in Bloomington, 31 in Lafayette, 28 is the current temperature in Richmond. You notice there's no real Arctic air, and we're going to actually start to have a warming trend over the course of the next few days. Today, though, with the clouds in place, temperatures only get into the mid to upper 30s, about 37 degrees here in this city. But I am expecting the clouds to thin out just a little bit as we work our way into the afternoon hours. And what I mean by that is they're never going to make their way out of central Indiana. It's going to become more of that filtered sunshine where the skies just start to brighten up a little bit, and that'll at least start to help the temperatures by a couple degrees. But this weather pattern is rather active overall. There's some rain and snow off to our west in Omaha and Wichita. That doesn't look all that impressive now, but that's what arrives tomorrow morning. So TrueCast shows the clouds breaking apart, probably overdoes it just a little bit for us here across the area today. But as we get into the overnight hours, the clouds come back, and by tomorrow morning we're starting to track a light wintry mix. This is not going to amount to much. It's probably just a couple tenths of an inch of snow, and to the south it's a rain-snow mixture. But look at the timing. That is the issue. It comes through during the course of the morning drive, and so it's not out of the question once we get the cars on the streets and the salt trucks can't get out there and move about as freely that there could be a few slick spots. So make sure you tune in tomorrow morning right here on Good Morning Indiana. We'll update you on the progression of that wintry mix. Again, it's not much, but it may be just enough to slicken up the roadways. Otherwise, tomorrow highs will be up near 40 degrees. Here's the improvement. Not so much Saturday morning as we're dealing with another little round of rain and snow, but Sunday, look at that, 51 degrees with sunshine. The next couple days after that, we're looking at temperatures that'll be in the mid-50s, about 55 on Monday, with skies that'll be partly cloudy across the area. Tuesday is still mild, and we may be closer to 60 degrees right after midnight Monday into Tuesday. So that 50 is kind of average high temperature. Then it's going to be a pretty rainy day as we work our way into the afternoon hours Tuesday, followed, Lauren, by colder air on Wednesday.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We do have a traffic alert for drivers heading out the door at this hour on the south side of town. Take a look here at our Traffic Now map. This is the semi-crash we are monitoring right now, getting word of it here in the southbound lanes of I-65. It's looking like we have some lane closures here, and we're going to continue to keep you updated on that. But let's take a look live and see what's going on right now. You can see the camera in that area is frozen, but you can see the flashing lights there on the screen. We do have reported at least 2 lanes closed right now, so this is something we'll continue to monitor, and we'll let you know if there are any delays for your commute. Again, impacting southbound traffic, leaving downtown, heading to the south side. We'll keep you updated.
American Airlines pilots are turning up the heat on the company company over their contract negotiation. Hundreds of pilots rallied outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport Wednesday. Their union says the contract negotiations have been underway for more than a year and are moving too slowly. Union reps say the rally was not only about the pilots, but also passengers. A survey by the Wall Street Journal and American Airlines pilots shows the company ranks 9th out of 9 airlines, and the union says they can do better. Representatives for American say they're optimistic about getting a deal with the pilots soon.
Fans of Old Bay seasoning can now get the same flavor in a sauce. The company that makes Old Bay, McCormick, is selling a limited edition of Old Bay Spice Blend hot sauce. The 10-ounce bottle will sell for about $3.50. The Old Bay hot sauce will hit store shelves in about a month, but if you can't wait that long, it is available now on McCormick's website. If you're a big Old Bay super fan, you can buy yourself an Old Bay scented candle while you're at it. Well, there's nothing so-so about what happens among this team of women, how shiny stones and scissors will help determine what's seen on the stage. Looking forward to this story. That is coming up right after the break. Stick around.
RTV6 is working for you.
Welcome back. Details matter when it comes to making intricate costumes.
In an age where everything can be ordered online, there are some exceptions. Our Rafael Sanchez found a room where everything depends on a needle and rolls of thread.
The sewing machine rattles while steps are rehearsed. These performers seek perfection while pins are being put in place.
There's something very relaxing about the sewing.
This is the costume shop for the Indianapolis Ballet, where crafting, cutting, and creating never seems to stop, with multiple productions on the horizon.
Many of these costumes that I'm replicating that were the original Karinskas, I don't have patterns. I'm going by pictures.
Vicki Lyris works side by side with her mother. Everyone calls her Yaya.
I love sewing, and I started sewing 9 years old, so it's a very long time.
Yaya is 90 years young, with an eye for fashion. The mother-daughter team are behind every major outfit worn on stage. Each ballet costume is personally handcrafted. Several students do help out.
Having a well-made costume that you can move in and breathe in, but also it holds you together and makes you feel your best on stage, it's really important.
You'd be amazed at how much work goes into each piece.
In this room, needles and threads weave through fabrics, like dancers glide through a routine. Both have much in common. Both seek to captivate their audiences. Neither can do it solely.
Detail and tremendous amount of time to create the magic.
The team is looking at sewing a couple thousand stones for their next production.
That will be on Valentine's Day weekend at the Toby Theater at Newfields. And if you're looking for something really fun to do, I would highly recommend it. Victoria Lyris, who you saw there, she's incredible. Instrumental in bringing ballet back to Indianapolis.
Yes.
So such a great program there. So I love that story.
All right, let's dance on over to the Weather
Yes.
Center now with meteorologist Todd Clausen. Todd, are we going to be doing a rain dance at all anytime soon?
No rain dance. Maybe a little bit of a snow dance tomorrow morning.
Okay.
But this morning, no issues. Storm Team 6 radar is nice and quiet for us. You notice the temperatures pretty uniform anywhere you go, and that's due to the cloud cover that is out there once again on this Thursday morning. So we start off very cloudy across the area. Temperatures seasonable this time of year, get up to right around 36 degrees. I am hopeful, though, that the clouds do thin just a little bit later on this afternoon. We'll talk more about that and beyond coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 5:57. Stay with Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back.